everybody? We are back. It is Taped Online's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite is everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, pandasubs.com, discount code TDL for 35% off. All right, so we are back today. We're doing Will Johnson and Mason Graham. Kind of getting to these first round picks, guys that actually get picked at 6 here. So it'll be actually a good look at some good players, and that's these players in the background for it, right? So we'll be doing that today.
Over third and fourth round quarterbacks anymore.
No, we're third, fourth round quarterbacks, or maybe fifth round quarterbacks, or whatever we're doing late round guys. But we're gonna be looking at some the elite players in this draft. Right?
Yeah,
I think Johnson's
not just elite players, elite Michigan men.
Yeah, elite Michigan men, Jim Harbaugh men, right here. I mean, this, so we'll see if Pete Carroll drafts these guys just because they went to Michigan and played with Jim Harbaugh. We'll see if he holds that against
Spytek's there. Spytek and Brady, at least to balance it out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. It's true. All right, so nothing else is really going on. So we'll just get into the film here because there's really nothing else happening in Raiders land. I guess nothing that we could make up or any rumors that we can make up ourselves. So nothing's happening at all.
Not unless you want to dive into bringing in 37-year-old Matt Stafford or 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, which I don't know.
Yeah, that's a conversation, but I hope they don't do Aaron Rodgers. I just hope they don't. If they do an old guy, I hope it's Stafford because Stafford actually played well last year. I don't,
My thing with Stafford is I mean, if it's like a cheap trade or whatever, but I don't really want to give up draft picks for a guy that you're hoping to get 2 years out of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does Matt Stafford make the Raiders a Super Bowl contender? I don't think so.
Makes them a playoff contender for sure.
Yeah, but he makes them more competitive. But I just rather see them have assets to build for the future and be good more long term rather than just find a solution for a couple of years. But again, if it's a cheap trade, you're talking about third, fourth round pick, then yeah, but I don't think that's what he's going to go for. I feel like he's going to go for something more. He's going to go to Pittsburgh for, a second or a first round pick or something like that.
I mean, if the Raiders had a later first round pick like they did when they traded for Devontae Adams, I'd feel better about it.
Sure. Yeah.
But since they have number 6, I mean, we're not trading number 6 for Matthew Stafford. I hope not. Yeah, so I don't, and then even I feel like pick 39 is still going to be a big pick for them. So
37, right? I think
it's 39.
Is it? Oh,
that's what I saw. I looked up on my draft the other day, and it said 39. So I could
maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know, but yeah, it's that type of situation where the Raiders are put in that position where they can't really just give up draft assets like that, especially when they're high assets. You know what I mean? Giving up that high second round pick makes you feel a little, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
Maybe they take the 2/3 for Stafford, I guess.
Maybe. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, that you could sell me on that a little bit more, but even so, I kind of just be I don't know. I'm not the point where I'd like to see them get the young players, get the young talent and develop them than necessarily keep chasing wild card appearances and stuff like that, but we'll see.
Yeah. I guess for our free agent show, we have to do Sam Darnold and Aaron Rodgers.
Both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I guess so, man. Because the free agent quarterbacks are going to be something to be interested in, especially since Rodgers isn't coming back. I mean, I don't know. Aaron. I would like to see Aaron because I think he'd be funny with the Raiders media. That's what I would like to just some of the questions they would ask him.
Yeah.
Would be I would like to watch that, but him on the field, I don't know about that. But him at a press conference, I would watch every press conference he did if he was Raiders quarterback because I couldn't wait for some of the questions he would get and how he would answer them.
I mean, that's primarily how he makes headlines these days. So
yeah. All right, so let's get to the draft. Who are these guys? Who are 2 potential guys at number 6? Outside of quarterback, of course, everybody wants a quarterback, but these guys are 2 options here. So we got Will Johnson and Mason Graham, both standouts from the Michigan defense. Of course, Will Johnson got hurt during the season. I think he played. I don't know, remember how many games he played, but
It was like October, I think so. Like maybe played like half the season, 5 games, something like that.
5 or 6 games or something like that. So I'm gonna go over him a little bit, and then Matt's gonna do Mason Graham. So Matt, what are your thoughts on Mason Graham and his potential at the pick at 6?
It's funny. I think I've talked about it before of like, I don't know, because he is kind of the same player, a similar type of player of Christian Wilkins. So I don't know how much of a fit he'd be. But then I like went back and I don't think it was necessarily like the prospect fatigue that I've talked about a little bit. Like I've always had Mason Graham as one of the best players in this draft class. And I think on BR's board, he's been 2 or 3 the entire way out.
Yeah.
But it was like just going back and flipping on the film, it like reminded me like, nah, this guy is something special where like, it's like Brock Bowers last year. Like if he's there at 6, especially if they're like both quarterbacks are off the board, you just draft a good player and figure it out later.
Yeah.
Like if you're talking about like what the Raiders did last year defensively, which was running a ton of odd fronts, like he'd fill in for Adam Butler's role and I mean be a massive upgrade. And again, maybe you figure it out the year after 2 years later with Christian Wilkins, because Wilkins is kind of sneaky old, even though he's only on his second contract. But yeah, I mean the guy's just elite. Like he's one of the best defensive tackles prospects I've watched and I scouted over the last few years. I think if he had elite length, he would be up there with Jalen Carter and maybe even ahead of Jalen Carter. That's how highly I think of him. Like his game is just like, as far as the on-field product, like there's very few flaws that he can do everything. Like I'm going to be real with you guys. We got nearly 30 clips to get through. And it was hard for me to pare down. And I probably left a couple out too. I was like, this is getting redundant at some point. But I mean, the guy is quick. He's big. He's 320. He's almost 320. He's not long, right? Like I just said, but he's big. He can slant and be effective and get into A gaps because of his quickness and his agility. He can take on one-on-one blocks. It's almost unfair. Like the guy's not moving. He's pretty good against double teams. He can win with finesse and he can win with power. I don't know what else you want. Like as far as as far as he goes, like it's literally like his weaknesses. You're getting into nitpicking territory where you're like, oh yeah, maybe a little bit here. He doesn't play with that as high, or he plays at too high a pad level. Again, the short arms too. Sometimes that can show up every now and again, but like for the most part, like I'm like, this dude is legit, and it's not even just like he's a 1-year wonder. Like not to hate on him because I think he's a good player too, but like Abdul Carter, like only has the 1 season of being a good edge rusher, and in all honesty, like half a season of being like an elite edge rusher. Mason Graham has been elite for the last 2 years, and even though Michigan didn't have a great year, like he was still as dominant. Like he was PFF's highest graded defensive tackle this year. The year before, he was the 4th highest, and he's like 21 years old. So he's a stud. Long-winded way of saying if he's at 6, he's going to be really hard to pass up on.
Yeah, Graham's a beast, man. I mean, anytime I watch Michigan defense, I start watching it. He stands out, right? Like he's just a standout type of player. Like that would be a steal at 6, in my opinion. I think that's a guy that you would look at and really want to bring into your team and bring it to your defensive line. Because just look at, I mean, I don't know if he's gonna be coming at 320, but just to see that weight and see how he moves on film, that's crazy. So that's a high level defensive tackle prospect. That is an elite defensive tackle prospect that will maybe change your defense. You know what I mean? Like maybe take your defense to the next level, especially if you match him with Christian Wilkins on like passing downs and things like that. And what you're talking about, running those bear fronts and stuff like that, little over fronts. Man. Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is like, we'll see some of these clips like Michigan, like he's at his best as a 3 technique. Don't get me wrong. But Michigan also lined him up as a 4-eye or at 5, and he's still pretty damn good. So that's the thing, is like he has that versatility too. He might have his best role as a 3 tech. It might be that better like down the road, but like he can play. He's a plug and play type of player. Like just tell him to go wherever. They also use him at nose too. I don't think that's his spot in the NFL. I think that'd be kind of wasting him a little bit. But again, there's that option if you want it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that'd be an easy pick. I think he might get pushed down because of the quarterbacks, but I mean, he might go over the quarterbacks too. I mean, that's the thing with how his type of talent, that somebody might take him, surprise people and just take him, or even trade up for him or something crazy like that. He's that type of player. So yeah, I can't wait to watch what you got on him. All right. Will Johnson Will Johnson's film is interesting because, one, it's hard to get targets, right? So it was kind of boring. It was especially the Texas game. Texas didn't even look his way. Texas threw Quinn Ewers to the other side of Will Johnson the whole game. He didn't even throw his side once. I think he got maybe one target that game, and he cleaned it up. Against Fresno State, he got some targets, and that's kind of the game where I'll show a lot of the what he looks like as a corner. And there are some things that you really like. I mean, as a zone guy, like, he is top notch. Like, he's never out of position. He's always in the right spot. He knows where to go. He communicates really well. He has great zone eyes, so that allows him to get interceptions and things like that. That's why he has all the interceptions he has in his career, is because of that. But he has great zone eyes. He's a great tackler too. Definitely will come in and play and tackle a little bit. But I will say one thing when I watched him is I kind of felt like if he's going to play man, that he should probably move inside. If you're going to play man with him, like, he could play zone on early downs outside. And then if it's like a big third down, you probably want to move him inside, just because I think it's not speed. I think a lot of people talk about he's slow. That's not it. I could tell he's really fast. And I'm going to show this pick six. He's fast as hell. It's more like he's stiff in the hips a little bit.
Gotcha.
So he transitions a little slower than you would like for an outside corner, right? But I think as a slot corner, because he's still a little fluid, where he can move side to side, and there's not as many like comeback routes as a slot guy. There's not as many double moves in the slot, things like that might get him in the NFL. I think if you move him inside, and kind of like Witherspoon, which Pete Carroll drafted. You could move Witherspoon in and outside. Sometimes Witherspoon could play inside, sometimes he could play outside, depending on how you feel about him. But you could put him inside because he could tackle. He could play in the slot. He blitzes really well, and a lot of those things that you really like. But I do think outside corner, there might be some times where he can get beat by I would say a great route runner. Like, a great route runner will give Will Johnson some issues, just because he's just a little stiff. So I'm gonna show it. Some of his transitions, he's just kind of late to get out of that, get out of the back pedal and things like that. It's more like an athleticism thing with this fluidness, and that's why I think there's probably some guys dropping him a little lower. But I also think it's because he's just sitting over there playing zone too, so you don't have a lot of film of him getting a lot of action. He probably have to go back to his junior year, but yeah, he seriously, Texas did not throw it his way at all. And to be honest, I watched 3 games of Will Johnson, and he had 2 pick sixes, so it makes sense why you don't throw it his way. So he's a playmaker though in that sense. So that's what I would say. There's a lot to like about him, but there is some things where I'm like, maybe if you want to play man and things like that, I think he'd be perfect, like the slot guy on third down, kind of like Trent McDuffie, kind of type of thing, in my opinion. Yeah. Where McDuffie, he's good on the outside, but you could beat McDuffie more on the outside than you can the inside. So it's one of those things with me.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, when I watched him this summer, and I haven't done a deep dive since then. It was kind of like what you're saying, like a lot of boring tape where he's just locking guys up, and then and there were it's again very few flaws, getting into the nitpicking territory and whatnot. But yeah, I'm interested to see the tight hips. I don't know if that's not something I necessarily remember, but be interested to see how that impacts him, especially against those double moves and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's a lot of false steps, going backwards before you go forwards and stuff like that. Gotcha. So it's interesting. All right, let's get to this film, man. Let's do Mason.
All right, so I'm gonna start with a few examples of what Mason Graham can do when he's slanting. One thing that kind of stands out, and you'll see it a lot or especially on this rep, is he does a great job of you're going to see him right here, he's pretty much square against this guard right here, and what he is able to do is he has the lateral movement skills and the quickness to keep moving laterally. And then if you watch, this is what it does to the offensive lineman. It throws off their angles. So now you can see this guy, if I draw a line straight down here, his nose is way in front of his toes and he's off balance. And it makes it easy to go make the tackle. He's also got a nice little arm over move here to escape that you can see. And again, we're going to see this pretty consistently. This time, I think he's going to go up against, I think this one, slant to the center. I mean, you can see the same thing. Does a great job of engaging to getting to square, and then just using his quickness and his lateral movement skills to get on the edge And for context, this is Connor McLaughlin, who granted didn't have a great junior year at Alabama, or didn't have a great 2023 at Alabama, but ended up transferring to Ohio State and was one of the better center prospects in this draft class. And I mean, same thing. Like, not as clean getting off the block on that time, a little bit better rep from McLaughlin of staying upright, but still ends up making a tackle for a short gain. Same kind of thing here. Again, slanting. This is Tyler Booker here, who's, again, another one of the top interior O-line prospects in the draft class. I mean, same thing. Like, just wins at the point of attack. Can see a little bit, like, we'll see this again later, like, there's a little bit of where Mason Graham's shorter arms can become a factor. Like, you can see it a little bit. Like, his hands, I mean, granted, the hand place is not great, but, like, Booker's elbow is bent, and he's struggling to get that full extension.
Yeah.
But he's so active and works his hands so well that he's able to get off the block anyway. So it almost doesn't even matter. Get one more slant here. This more with this get off. I mean,
wow. Again,
Booker. That's the other part to it too, is like he's quick off the ball. When you're quick off the ball and you can move well laterally, you can be dangerous when slanting. All right, so one-on-one blocks. I believe that's Fontenot, who again was a first-round pick last year. Mm-hmm. Coming down on him. Now, I will say this is gamble. Like, ideally, he would work this way and work across the face because with this little pin and pull concept. But he gets off the block so quickly, and I mean, is able to shed that once the exterior defenders here do their job, Will Johnson in the right place, like you're talking about the run defense, he's in a perfect spot to come back and make the tackle. This is the other thing, too. We'll see this later. Like, the athleticism that I'm talking about, like, we'll see a better example too. Like, his ability to come flat down the line again at 320 pounds is pretty unique and rare. This can be from this past year. Another one where he's just slanting. This is the thing that like really impresses me and like really gives me the Christian Wilkins comps. Like, you remember from the season when I showed Wilkins against the Chargers. Yeah. What Graham's able to do is he can win at the point of attack, and like his gap is right here. That's why he's slanting into this into the A gap here. Yeah. That's his responsibility, and he shows color in that to take that away. But on top of it, he's able to get off the block and cross the face and then still make a tackle either at the line of scrimmage or for loss. So he can kind of two gap even when he's one gapping, which is pretty special. Yeah. We'll see plenty of examples of that. I mean, same thing here. This time, this is what I'm talking about here. Like, okay, yeah, I guess no, this time he's still at a 3 technique just in an odd front. But again, recognizes the down block, shifts his eyes and hands to the tackle, bench press. Again, you can see a little bit like, see the tackle technically still has his arms on him and has elbows locked. So that's where the arm length comes into a factor. But he's so damn strong. He wins at the point of attack. He's still able to cross the face and go get involved in the tackle. Illinois here. I mean, this is the one I was talking about. This is just stupid. This is like textbook playing a full block here, right? We got the guard coming down, or excuse me, the tackle coming down, and then the guard pulling out. Ideally, and this is hard to do, your defensive tackle reads that and then works over the face because that kind of negates the fold, because the fold, they're trying to switch responsibilities and catch you out of your gap. But he's so quick and wins with that arm over move. He's able to win and take away this outside lane. Running back's looking at him. He sees that, so I'm just going to try and cut up the field. But again, all of our momentum, all 320 pounds are going this way. Now we're going to pivot back that way and go make the tackle. Wow. Trust me, there aren't 320, 315, 310-pound dudes who can do that.
That's not normal.
Not at all. Not at all. Another one, too. Again, covering 2 gaps at once. What is this? We got a little split zone here. Again, you can see it still. We got our arms fully locked, and or the guard still has his arm on his shoulder, which isn't ideal, but he's so damn strong. And when he goes to this one-arm technique, he's able to get more extension and get kind of ruin this guard's grip on him, and then just cross face and go make the play. Can make tackles with the lineman hanging on to him too. All right. Yeah, I mean, hopefully you're getting the picture by now.
Like, it's just all the tackles he's making. Like, you don't see the defense tackles make these many.
Not at all. Not at all.
Right.
Again, responsible for the B gap here. Here we go. Here he is pointing at the 4-eye. Here you can see what a little bit I'm talking about. I'm at the 4-eye. If 91 with Wilkins, and then we got Graham here on the strong side. But again, just shed the block. violent shedder too, which helps overcome the arm length a little bit too. All right. Getting on to him against double teams now here. Again, this is from last year from the Rose Bowl. Slanting, take on the center against McLaughlin. You can see a little bit of pad level. I will say, like, his pad level sometimes is more natural leverage than legit, like, getting low or getting good leverage. Like, you can see, like, yes, he's a little bit lower. Back this up a little bit. Like, you can see he's a little bit lower, but, like, if you look at, like, his knees, he's got kind of pretty straight-legged right here. But again, he's so strong and he's good at defeating the man he's lined up across from or defeating the guy he's taken on, that it doesn't really matter when the second blocker comes in, especially when he can get skinny and just stay in his gap. Doesn't make the play there, but we'll take space eating against double teams. The other part of it too, and like this rep highlights it well, he plays with such a wide and strong base. Like on this rep, like, yeah, he gets a little out of position here, probably doesn't quite feel the center coming down on him.
Yeah.
He does get kicked out of it, or does get kicked off balance a little bit, but he's so good at staying wide with his base and again, beating the man he's lined up across from, that as soon as that guy goes up to the second level, he's able to recover and he ends up making the tackle anyway.
Wow.
So it's part of what he can do. I mean, it's like, that's the thing. Part of it, what makes him special is he doesn't have just one way to defeat blocks. He has multiple, which makes him even harder to block and to stop. Again, same kind of thing here. Loses a little bit of ground initially, but I mean, we'll take that, especially against Botnu, who was a first-round pick last year. Mm-hmm. Just beat the man you're lined up across from and go make the play. Like, I'll take getting reduced a little bit from being outside shade to head up if you can recover and just go make the tackle anyway. Not sweating that at all. This one going to do a better job of just plugging up gaps in the middle. Again, little inside zone little power here from Texas, and just plugs it up in the middle. Nice play there too by Josiah Stewart and Kenneth Grant. I think Michigan won that one in the trenches.
Yeah, I think so. Good Lord.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking. Like, watch 77. Boom, on the ground, through the double team, and let's go make the play. Like, it's just special. It's just special. That's the best way to describe it. It's against Illinois, gets the tight end. Does not matter.
Good.
Make the tackle. That guy's leaning on. Gets his hands on the guard here, or the tackle here too, to disrupt that path. Again, just split it. Go make the tackle.
Wow.
I think these getting onto the finesse moves here. Yeah. All right. This is the other thing too. Like, the shorter arms will be a factor as a pass rusher, but he's so active with his hands here. Like, you can see here, like, gets to square and then has the quickness to kind of get to the outside. And then too, like, if you watch this hand right here, what he's going to do a great job of is pinning the elbow down to be able to get that clean win and then go get some pressure. And also, I mean, for, again, 320 pounds, that's pretty good bend. Yeah. Penix there is what, 7 yards on his drop, 6 yards on his drop. So, and still ended up getting to him at least. All right. The other thing that kind of, like, you've heard me talk about this a little bit with pass rushers and mainly on the edge, but it is a factor with the defensive tackles too, is how flexible his hips are. Like, we're going to see him, like, right now he's square, right, and beating the center across the center space with another nice move. But what I like about it too is, like, you'll see, like, he gets his, like, belly or his hips and his groin pointed towards the sideline. So that helps him stay clean. So when this number 77, the right guard comes to help him, the right guard's just hitting him in the back and he's not getting him in the chest or whatnot and stopping him at the line. He can get through clean and still go get the pressure and make that a tough throw for Penix. Although Penix made that one. I had to cut that one. So nice little spin move there here.
Wow.
Again, like, get the guard off balance. What I like about this too, like, is watch his inside arm right here and how he uses that as effectively, his outside arm, Watch this outside arm. How he uses that effectively on the ice pick. Again, clearing the hands. And that's kind of what makes the difference between a good and a great spin move, because at this point, this offensive lineman can't recover by moving his hands and keeping his hands on Graham's body, so he's able to go get the pressure. Just another tool bag or a tool in his tool belt. This might be my favorite one. Jonah Monaheim, who's a prospect in this year's class too, not a late round guy, but again, I mean, slap swim. Like, this is perfect technique. Like, you watch this hand right here, get it on the back shoulder, pull it down, eat some turf buddy, and then go get some pressure.
I thought he smacked him in the head.
Yeah, get it exactly. Again, you can see a little bit of the hips too. This is a good example here, like how his feet not quite like parallel, but that's how you can clear your lower half and get clean wins.
He got an offensive lineman in midair like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's bad.
Wow.
Yeah, USC. I would not want to put it this way. I would not want to have been in USC's film room the next day after they played Mason Graham, because he gave him some of the business. Now this rep, honestly, more than anything, highlights his athleticism. Like, you're not going to win with the pass rush move, but what he does a great job of is you're going to see him off the line. He's going to go attack this tackle, and watch what that does to the guard's eyes. Right, he sees him go wide, so the guard, he shifts my head. He's like, all right, I'm going to come look for anything coming inside, but there's not a stunt. Graham just is working wide to kind of set this up, and then on top of it, he's got the change of direction and quickness to just get inside and then go get himself an unblocked pressure. Like, that's, again, at 315 or whatever he is going to weigh in at the combine, you should not be able to move like that. And he's just so fluid.
Wow.
It's just stupid, man.
It is.
I mean, see, we can even put him at stand-up.
Good.
Running back's gonna run. I don't even think the running back actually wanted to help. He just wanted some contact. So you know what? This has been I've been kicking Illinois' ass all day with against one guy, so I want to fight through two blockers and go get sacked.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, can win with finesse as a pass rusher. See a few more reps of him winning with power. Again, this one you get a little bit of both actually. That little slap swim, perfect here. Beat the guard. Go take on the center. Bull rush him into the quarterback.
Get an interception.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. That's our boy Will.
By Will Johnson.
Yeah. Will on this. Now this one not as clean as a rep. I will say Quinn Ewers ends up stepping up and throwing a touchdown here. But like, you can kind of see the power. I will say, like, I would like to see him try and stay square on this guard, because that way when Ewers does step up, if he's staying square or shaded to the inside, he might be able to just escape and go get the sack.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like projecting him, like, I mean, he ends up walking this guard back into the quarterback so that the quarterback so that Ewers has to step up. We just lose him on the back end. Kind of say the same thing about Grant. Grant stays outside. And Graham's inside. This is a sack, but lose a little bit of our integrity, and nice job by Ewers making pay. Again, I mean, get a little push-pull here against the guard. I mean, perfect technique. Get his nose over his toes. Center comes to help. Collapse the pocket even more. I mean, obviously, we're fighting through two guys. I'm never expecting you to get the sack, but we're forcing the check down. And also thanks to, I don't know who 26 is. Is this from last year? I don't know. But the linebacker obviously helps there too, but same thing. Fighting through two guys. Let's go get pressure. Even at the college level, I'm not going to see that. This one, little play action. I mean, this one, I guess, not great. Not the best example of his power, but like, you can see, like, he's got the center here on his heels. So then when the pressure does start to come, and when he realizes he'd gotten too far back in the pocket, he's just able to come back and then end up getting the coverage sack here too. So on top of that, got a good pass rush motor. I mean, again, put him at stand up. Put him at the edge. fight through two guys, keep collapsing the pocket, balls out quickly on that one, but another half second, he's at least hitting the quarterback as he threw. I think he might even got a piece of him as it was, but yeah. Again, someone just special, man. So I don't know how else I need to sell it, but you need him to do something on the interior defensive line, and he'll do it. At the end of the day, you want him to take on double teams? Sure, he'll eat space, he'll split him, make a tackle every now and again. You want him to beat one-on-one blocks, he'll cross face and cover two gaps. Win with finesse, he can do that too. Push the pocket and keep the quarterback keep the quarterback inside from scrambling. He can do that. The line up a 3 technique, can play 4-eye. Saw him stand up a couple times and be good. So, yeah, like I said, man, plug and play. If it comes to it and he's still on the board, I get the other needs are there, but just draft him and figure it out. Just draft him and figure it out later.
That was it brought me back to watching Michael Penix last year and asking myself, who is 55 the whole time? Yeah. I remember even watching Fatino, like in some of those plays that he was making there, I just got to ask myself, like, 55, that's kicking their ass. So yeah, man, that's some crazy film. It's just what he was doing to some of the offensive linemen. Like, that's, to be honest, like, that's what you want your top 5, top 6, whatever it is, are doing here, looking like on film. And because the guys that you're playing, especially if he's playing like a later round guy that might not be a starter in the NFL, I want you to dominate that guy, right? Yeah. So that's what I like to see from defensive linemen. But yeah, he can rush the passer, he can stop the run. There's really nothing really not to like. It's really hard to nitpick, right? You got to start nitpicking. Oh, his arms are short. Maybe
like I said, he plays high every now and again.
That level down. Like.
Yeah, it's funny, and that's, I think, what like almost like you're talking about earlier about him beating like good competition. Like, again, half those clips I were against guys like Tyler Booker, probably going to be a first-round pick, maybe second-round pick this year. McLaughlin going to get drafted this year. Monaheim might be a late-round pick. Fontenot was a first-round pick a year ago. Like, not only has he done it consistently at the college level, he's done it consistently against pretty damn good competition. Where there's just so much to like about him, and like, there's no such thing as a sure thing, but I feel the most confident that he's going to be a stud at the next level. And again, if he slides to 6, I get compared a lot to Brock Bowers being available at 13 last year, where just get the good player and figure it out.
He'll be fine. You could place him anywhere on the defensive line. But yeah, I do like the Wilkins comp though, because that's what he looks like, to be honest. Yeah, that's what he really does look like. And people talk about Wilkins not being the greatest pass rusher in the world, but he still gets pressure and he still gets and against the run, Wilkins is legit as hell. So that's something that I see in Graham too. You see a lot of Christian Wilkins, so that is a good comp for sure. All right, Will Johnson. All right, so let's get to Will Johnson here a little bit. Sorry about this tackling ability. To see Will Johnson down here. So you saw a little bit on the Mason Grant clips, but what I like, you see it right here, how he always stays square when he's playing the run or getting ready to tackle. So you see here, he rarely gets out of position here, and you see how he stays square. He shuffles a little bit and then makes a pop there. So this is why I know, like, Pete Carroll, they really take tackling. That's like a big thing for them with cornerbacks. Patrick Graham too, right? If you can't tackle, you can't play for those two. So that's why, Will Johnson does. He does a great job of tackling. He's just natural at it. See, for this one, he's blitzing. All right, and what I like is how he gets under this. So there's this. You got the pulling guard coming, right? All right, they're doing a little counter, and he's able to bend under the guard there, right? And then come through and make a great tackle there. So this is what I'm talking about, him playing in the slot, because you see how he's lined up inside here. He is blitzing.
Yeah, reduce split.
Right? But these are the type of things he could do from the slot. Like you could blitz him, he could play the run. A lot of things to like from him inside, and why I think you could move him around a little bit. You just don't have to keep him outside. But you'll see it from the other angle here in the end zone angle on this one. How he bends under this guard, who's pulling here on the counter here. So just bend under him, right? Just make the guy completely whiff and then gets a tackle there. There's another one. Him coming up and making a tackle. So this is what I'm talking about, him always finding a way to get square, because you see right there, right before he gets that tackle, right? So the guy, he's playing the outside, right? This guy was, kind of, let's look here. So like, he's about to come outside. So you see him driving down on the play there, and then he's able to get square here right before he makes the tackle. See that position right there. That's why he's such a great form tackler, because he's able to get in these positions and then make a pop and then drive forward. This is like Pop Warner, bro. This is like a Pop Warner tape here. This is what they teach you in 5th grade, man. This is how you tackle right there. See through it, boom.
Yeah.
So I mean, so that's what I mean. Like this is why I really think somebody like Pete Carroll is really gonna like him, because just his tackling ability. Now this one he misses the tackle, or you can say something, Matt?
I was just gonna say, and the fact he came from depth to come up and play the run on that one, that like shows you he wants to play. Like he's willing to do it.
Yeah. He's not like Nate Wiggins, right?
No.
So he misses this tackle here, but it just kind of shows his aggressiveness, because he comes and blows up the screen still a little bit, right? I mean, he forces the screen to go right to the players. I know there's only one guy out there, but he doesn't get blocked here. You see him again dive under it, kind of show some bend there. This is why I think he's playing inside. He'd be a great blitzer, because he's gonna beat running backs and stuff like that, and get to the quarterback. You see him kind of just make the play here. You see it from this side, right? Yeah, maybe he missed a tackle kind of with the guy still blocking him, but it's still the aggressiveness and the ability to get square there and make plays right there.
And that's a missed tackle I can live with, because he's at least like making contact with the ball carrier and letting the cavalry come, letting 7 come, giving him a little more time to come make the play.
Exactly. All right, so getting to him in coverage here. So he's great zone eyes. All right, so his zone eyes are high level. He's great in zone. That is one thing that you're gonna notice. So like the Raiders play a lot of zone. They did play a lot of cover 3. And with Patrick Graham, and then you mix it in with quarters, he could do all of these in zone coverage. He's gonna understand where to go, what to do, and understand concepts. So on this one, you get a little sticks concept in front of him, right? Which is the the flat and then the quick hitch here, and you see him just drive on this ball. Now I talk about his false step a little bit, so you can kind of see it on this one. It kind of goes backwards a little bit before he drives forward, right? But
goes backward to go forward, yeah.
Yeah, but one thing that people talk about why he's slow, I don't agree with that, because he does this and he's still able to get to his football and knock the ball out. So him being slow that's not an issue. He has plenty of speed, because he's able to still drive on this ball. And Moss got this ball out on time. I think this is pretty good timing from him. So it's not like he's late there. That's just Johnson making a play, knocking that ball out. You see it from this angle too here. He's able to just drive on it and then just play through the ball there. You can even see him kind of when he's tackling. You can see his left hand here. He is, knocking at the ball while he's tackling, and he gets the ball out. So it's things like that you really like with him. And why he's just a playmaker, and he gets a lot of pass deflections here. So this one, you see a pretty good job of him flipping his hips here. So and a good transition from him. And I feel like this is his only target against Texas too. This is it. But this kind of shows everything we talked about, him being a good tackler, him driving on the football, understanding zone. So you see how he rides this concept right here. So you're getting like basically like kind of like basically like a flat 7 here, right? Kind of. on this one, and kind of like a smash concept variation. But you see here how he is carrying first this corner route, because that is his job first, right? He's gonna carry that one. Once he notices that he still has a safety over top, he kind of shifts his back pedal a little bit with the understanding that the ball's either to come here, he could drive to this on number 7, or the ball's going to come here to this guy in the flat. The ball goes there on the flat. He's able to flip his hips, get downfield, and make that tackle. So watch one more time here. Kind of full speed. You kind of see it just exactly how his zone eyes, where he keeps his eye on his quarterback. He's just so good at zone. And that is his specialty. Like zone, they don't run a lot of man in Michigan, so I mean that might be a little bit of a knock on him, but you could tell that he's really good at this at zone too as well. So you'll see here on this one, what I like about this one too is that he doesn't have to backpedal that much, right? Just a little tiny backpedal, but he's still keeping his eyes on the quarterback, right? So if the quarterback wanted to come, basically if this was like a comeback or a quick hitch or something like that, he could still drive on the football and get an interception if he needed to, because his eyes are on the quarterback because he's playing zone. But he noticed as soon as he realizes that it might be a go route or something like that, he's able to adjust. And this is what I'm saying. This is why I know he's faster than people give him credit for, because he's trusting his speed here. He knows this guy's not going to be able to outrun him. So he knows he can look at the quarterback, still get adjusted. Then he's able to get his hands on him and then push him towards the sideline where he's in perfect position there. If that ball is coming, there's not a lot of room for that guy to get that football.
And it ties to what you're talking about of like him trusting his speed. Like, back up a little bit. What I like is once he realizes the receiver's committing deep, he closes the space like horizontally, like right there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where he's like he's getting on top of him and reducing the passing lane. And subtleties that can make the difference between completions and incompletions.
Exactly. All right. So this next one here. So this can be a double move. It doesn't go his way, of course, but it kind of just shows what he can do when he's playing man to man. I mean, they're not playing natural. I mean, they're kind of playing man to man, a little funky, but you see here, basically, I mean, this is against Golden too, right? So Golden tries to give him a double move here, but he's still all over that. He's on top of that. That would have had to be a perfect throw. There's not a lot of room there. He's able to get his hands on him. And so, I mean, this is what I really like, because you can see, like, with his arms, he has long arms. And he's able to just kind of trust his speed a little bit. He knows the guy's not going to be able to run past him. And he also knows that if I have this inside leverage, he has to do the fade. I'm not going to let him get through me. So there's only one way he can go, even with that route that he has. So, and that is Golden too, right? Yeah, that's Marcus Golden, right? He's really
I can't remember which one was 5. I think Bond was 1. I think 5 was Golden. If I remember. Maybe I have it backwards, but either way, both good receivers.
All right. And then you see again here, let's talk about his zone eyes again. Now, with the communication, I mean, they leave number 0 wide open, and they were doing this all game because I think Quentin Ewers doesn't check down. I have a feeling that's why they were doing that. So you kind of see he's eyeing this corner route. There's good communication there. He understands that if they're going to go there, you're not going deep here. You're going to throw it to 0 here. And Matt showed the other side of this play. The Ewers made that touchdown throw. But just it's the zone eyes that he has, man. He sees everything in zone. He's never out of position. He's never where he's not supposed to be. And that's why I think you could feel real comfortable taking him for the system that the Raiders run, right? So on this one right here, so this is which just shows his film watching and his playmaking and everything on this pick 6, because what you're going to see, you're going to get a go route here and then a quick hitch. All right. Now they're in quarters. Okay. So he's playing quarters coverage here. And what you see is how he understands this concept. He knows he's got the safety over the top. And you see he has a move jet, right? And he's basically baiting Moss into throwing this little quick hitch. And you can even see the little bit of the false step on this one. I'll take it back. But this is what I'm talking about, how he's not slow. Because people say, oh, he's slow. I hear it all the time. This is how I know he's not slow, because he has a false step here, right? He has a little bit of a false step, but he's still able to drive on this football so quick and has such a great understanding of what's going to happen with this football. Because, since I'm sitting here at the 50, he's not going to throw this deep route. He's going to go to the hitch. But he just drives on it, pick six. And this is what I'm talking about. He's not slow. Look at him just outrun. He's not slow at all. I don't understand. When I watched the film, that's what shocked me most. I was expecting to see some guy kind of like a zone slow guy. Like, nah, he is not slow at all. But that's just like, if you just look at it one more time, it's just him just baiting Moss. Moss is like, okay, I can't go deep, and he just drives on the football. He's not even supposed to be there. He's not supposed to be there. Let's keep it real. He's telling everybody that's number 2. Because let's go back to the previous week. And it was funny. Like, when I showed this on Twitter, somebody's like, I saw Jack Jones do this, so it doesn't count. I'm not impressed. I'm like, okay, whatever, bro. It's still a great play from Jack Jones. Okay. But this is what I'm talking about, him understanding concepts and just being a super smart corner, because, right, he knows how they're lined up. He's like, they're probably running a screen, right? Just based on this lineup. They did it earlier in the game on the other side, and he recognizes it. And this is a big part of this game. Like, Fresno State's like trying to make a comeback, and they're driving to make this a close game again, right? And he just closes the door right here, and he just drives on the football, makes a play, pick six.
Yeah. Believe it or not, great plays are great plays.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? but that's what I mean. Like, he recognizes from the jump. Like, he didn't even go backwards. He didn't even try to do anything. He just goes right for it right away. And nobody's catching him. Touchdown. All right, so let's get to a little bit of some of the why I say that, some teams are probably a little bit lower on him than you would think going into this draft, right? So see here, so he's getting basically this wheel concept. Like, so this is what I'm talking about. This guy's going inside, he's coming outside. Johnson does a good job of recognizing that, right? So he knows I'm getting this go route on zone, right? But you see here, on the comeback here, you can see how many steps it takes him to kind of get out of this transition.
Yeah.
Right? He's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he comes back. Now, like, and then you see he has the speed to drive back on the ball and get there quickly. But the NFL, with a high level NFL quarterback, that's a completion. Throwing that on time. Yeah. Boom, he's throwing it right now. The ball's already out. That's a completion right there.
I feel like part of it is he's played very high. So if he maybe was like bending a little bit lower, he can get in and out faster. It might be a fixable issue is kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a good point. So on this one too, so this one shows his speed, but also where the false step comes in. So you see on the back pedal, he's playing outside leverage. So this dig route is open for this wide receiver, right? But since he has this tiny false step, right? He's not able to drive on this football like he would want to. Like I would say, he's not able to close, right? The click and close type of thing, right? He's not able to close there, but he almost still knocks his ball out. This is what I'm talking about. How people say he's not slow. How he's slow, right?
Yeah,
because he still almost knocks his ball out with the false step. So as I'm saying, if you can clean those little things up with him, like he's gonna close a lot quicker. And he's gonna be able to make play on the ball. But you see it from the other angle here too, how he's so close to just knocking that ball out. He tries to knock it out, but it's just that small false step is why he's not able to just knock his ball down from the jump. But it's still, you can still see that he has good recognition there, right? So on this one really caught my eye because one is again Fresno State, but double move is a double move. But you kind of just see here a little bit. Well, I talk about a little bit of the stiffness here, right? Because you see it takes him a little bit to turn around and get back into chasing him in this double move, right? So
yeah,
it's just small things like that. So right, it just little struggle to flip his hips there. So it's more about the agility with Will Johnson. It's not the straight line speed or anything like that. It's more about
Yeah.
the agility with him. Because I mean, he got beat pretty bad there, but it's more because he just takes so long to get out of that transition. Like, I bring it back right here. You can see like the pause there, like that whole pause, instead of just being able to flip his hips and get right around there. Yeah. So, but this what I'm talking about him playing the slot though. I put this clip last. I mean, this ends up being a catch, and people are gonna be like, "Why are you putting this?" Marcus is saying it's a sign that he could play in the slot because he gets a big play here. But so he's in press coverage here. You see him right here in the middle, right here playing press coverage. But what I like is that he definitely, in my opinion, should have got his hands on him first a lot earlier here. Right. What I like is when he's able to, when he does get his hands on him, right, and he's able to get in a position there, right, basically in phase here. And also he doesn't open the gate really easily either, which I like here too. He doesn't open the gate really easy. He stays square for a while, even though I still think he should have got his hands on him. He stays square until that guy commits to his route, and he's in great position here, right? So this is what I'm talking about. He could play in the slot because he is in perfect position right here, and I think he loses track of the ball a little bit here, and this is a great throw too, but. Like if this was like, let's say if this was underthrown a little bit, that's a pick for Will Johnson, right? But this is a perfect throw. Wide receiver does a good job fighting through contact with him too, and he tries to knock that ball out. But the guy hangs on to it. Yeah. So, but that's what I'm talking about, him being in the slot, and why like on third downs and things like that you could move him inside, blitz him, and he can also play coverage inside and play really well for you there. Yeah. So kind of like imagine how they would use Nate Hobbs, right? When Nate Hobbs playing outside on early downs, inside on late downs, those type of things is, one of the reasons why, I really think he could play inside. But as I'm saying, he's in great position here, and the guy's just fighting through it. And I think he thinks he got a pass interference here, but I mean, it's just a perfect throw. And he still almost knocks that ball out. That guy just makes a great catch.
Yeah. If he didn't have the stumble, I think he might have made the right about there. He kind of like trips over his feet or something.
Yeah, 18 like broke his leg too here.
Oh shit.
But yeah, that's Will Johnson though. That's Will Johnson. That's how he looks, man. I think there's a lot to like, especially for the system the Raiders run. I think he's a perfect fit. Like I said, you can move him around. He's that type of guy that Pete Carroll really likes at the slot. He definitely has that little bit of comparison to Witherspoon there, being able to be diverse and a lot of speed. I think Witherspoon was more fluid than he was as a mover, though. But that's why I feel like that, even if you feel like that maybe, you can't play him outside all the time, you could put him in the slot and he becomes like Cooper DG type of thing. But that's the thing, too, why I could see why teams are a little bit lower on him and why, it might be a little rich to take him at 6. But it's all the fit, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if he fits. So Pete Carroll's really going to like him as a corner. I mean, if they have the option to trade back or something like that, or something like some guys that don't like, and they feel like that he might be there when they trade back, it might be the type of guy that they take there too. But yeah, there's a lot to like though. I just think there's, I was trying to figure out why he's getting pushed down a little bit, and you can kind of see why with some of the fluidness that he might not have and some of those false steps and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think like you said, like I think at the very least you can get like a decent inside guy. And I mean, the fact that he has like impressive ball skills and can run, like that speaks well for him to play in like a cover 3 system. You just got to be a little bit more disciplined and kind of like trust his ability to drive on routes a little bit more. Like that one double move might have gotten a little over aggressive there, but even so, that wasn't like he was bad caught out of position. Like you said, more had to do with his transition. So I mean, again, another guy that's like you're having trouble finding flaws for him. Like when you're filling out your scouting report, you're like, I got to put something in the negative column. Find something, and maybe it is that hip tightness that is the biggest thing. But yeah, the one guy, and I looked it up, like his measurables don't quite line up, and I think Jalen Johnson didn't have as much linear speed, but he was a little bit more agile. Yeah, but Jalen Johnson was the guy that kind of came up just from the IQ and like the play that like really like kind of sold it for me was the pick six in quarters where he like just jumped the route that wasn't his responsibility. And I just had visions of Johnson that when what was it 2 years ago when he's playing Palms and makes that and goes back and makes that pick. Like that's kind of like where I was coming from, just from like the instinct standpoint. But yeah, I don't know if that quite fits, but that was who popped in my head when you were playing some of those clips.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like his understanding of what the other team is doing and those type of things. That's what's kind of makes him play a whole lot faster. And you can see a lot of special traits there, and a lot of him understanding zone and having great zone eyes. So I mean, that's the thing that, you know, when you play a lot of zone like the Raiders do, you want a guy like that, because, you know, you could tell, you know, sometimes when the Raiders play, you have them like kind of just giving up all those short passes over and over and over again, and you know we get frustrated because sometimes they just can't stop somebody doing that. That's why you have a guy like that in zone. So when these teams keep doing that, all of a sudden he just jumps it, and it's a pick six. So,
yeah.
But yeah. When you have 2 pick sixes like that and you play like 5 games, I mean, you don't overthink things like that. But you know,
yeah, that's a good ratio. Pretty good ratio.
Pretty good. All right. So that's the show for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. 2 high-level prospects we went over there in this year's draft for 2025. And like I said, all these draft videos are all, you know, they don't go bad until August. So even if you're not a fan of the Raiders, you know, they draft one of these guys, you can come check this out. Come check out what we're doing at Tips Online here and look at all the draft stuff we got here. So make sure you guys check that out, and we'll be back this week. Maybe, I don't know, maybe dive into free agents finally. I don't know. We're getting close to that, but you know, maybe we'll see here. But we'll be back next week, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. We're out. Peace.